Yo, what up? It's your life coach and mentor, John Belcher. I am rich, I am financially free, I am financially prosperous. Money flows to me effortlessly and abundantly from providing great service. I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am loved. Alright, I ain't even gonna waste your time. We're gonna go right into it today. There's gonna be no hold up on this one. So they just gave R.Kelly 30 years, right? Alright, rightfully so. He did a lot of weirdo stuff in the past. I don't know why in the past they didn't shine light on the stuff he was doing. A lot of people allowed him to do it years ago when he was doing what he was doing, but now everything caught up to him. All right, cool, but what about all the people who was in connection to Jeffrey Epstein? What about all the politicians and all the people in power who was going to Jeffrey Epstein's island and knew what he was doing and had little girls coming there and recruiting other girls, and he had this massive network of young girls coming to his island? What about that? Why did only he went to jail and what's her name? What's the lady name that was with him? Maxwell, right? Just Jocelyn Maxwell, I think her name was. But you got Jeffrey Epstein, and she was his accomplice, right? And she just went to jail. But hold on. We can't just put them in jail. What about all the people that was enabling them? What about all the people who was friends with Jeffrey Epstein? Because Jeffrey Epstein had a lot of money coming in from all his rich friends, all his rich politician friends. Why them people ain't going to jail? Why they names ain't getting exposed? Something to think about, right? And the reason why, I'm going to tell you why their names ain't getting exposed and why they ain't going to jail. Because if we knew who those people were who were involved in what he had going on in that island, you'd be shocked to find out who those people are. You'd be shocked to hear the names of people, the politicians that you may look up to and glorify, who was enabling Jeffrey Epstein, knew what he was doing, and funneling money to him and allowing him to do it. See, one thing about certain groups of people, what they're gonna do is they're gonna allow you to do all of your crazy actions and all of your crazy deeds. They're gonna allow you to do it as long as you're benefiting them. But the minute they fear that you might turn your back on them, or the minute they fear that you might rat people out who are in high places, government officials and stuff like that, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna get rid of you. And that's what they did to Jeffrey Epstein. But when you really check out the Jeffrey Epstein documentary, it was so funny how they released that documentary in the heat of COVID. When everybody else was focused on COVID and everybody dying from the pandemic, that's when they released the Jeffrey Epstein documentary and all the crazy sick stuff he was doing. But with R.Kelly now, they made sure to release his documentary in a time when there was nothing else to focus on. All everybody focused on was bashing R.Kelly. But I'm not saying R.Kelly was right. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is we got to be fair across the board. We can't pick and choose how we want to treat people and how we want to tarnish some people's legacies but not other people's legacies. We can't pick and choose, oh, this guy did the same thing as that guy, but we want to make this guy's legacy look extremely bad while not making this other person's legacy not look that bad. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be fair across the board. People's going on. Why would they release that Jeffrey Epstein documentary in the heat of COVID? Because COVID was distracting everybody. Everybody had family members who were dying. People had family members who were in the hospital. We was on lockdown. And that's when they released the documentary on Jeffrey Epstein. Did you watch it? Did you watch that shit? Did you watch the documentary with Jeffrey Epstein? I'm telling you right now, it's sick. It's crazy. It's crazy. Make sure to go watch that documentary if you haven't seen it yet. But of course we know they say he died, right? That's what they say he killed himself. That's what they say. That's what they say, right? They say he killed himself. Did he really kill himself? We don't really know. Or were they afraid that he was going to start telling on the people who was coming to his island, telling on the people who was buddy with him? This is something to think about, right? Because there's a lot of corrupt stuff going on. But you got to check out how they spin the story. They spin the story in ways that are very unfair. They spin the stories in ways that are really, really messed up. And that was one of the main things I realized when the documentary dropped. I scratched my head. I'm like, damn. When R. Kelly's documentary dropped, it's like the whole nation was talking about him. The whole nation was bashing him. And R. Kelly ain't have nearly as much power as Jeffrey Epstein. I'm going to say it again. R. Kelly ain't have nearly as much power as Jeffrey Epstein. So Jeffrey Epstein was doing what R. Kelly was doing to a whole nother level. Yet and still, people didn't bash him. The public eye wasn't on him the same way how they was on R. Kelly. Why they ain't have Jeffrey Epstein do an interview with Gayle King and Oprah? Why didn't have Jeffrey Epstein go up there and make a mockery of himself and them ask him questions? What are they protecting? Who are they protecting? I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of names that you'll be shocked to hear that was cool with what Jeffrey Epstein is doing. Because all his friends were people who make laws. All his friends were people who are millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires. You know what I'm saying? And they was going to check him on that island. What was they doing with him on that island? What was they doing knowing damn well them kids was on that island with him? If you haven't watched the Jeffrey Epstein documentary, you need to go check that out so you can know who you're dealing with out here. I'm telling y'all right now. 300 to freedom, baby. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? You got some real weirdos out there who got a lot of power and they got a lot of money. And guess what? They got people in their corner and they paying these people off. Right? Why they paying these people off? Shh. Keep your mouth shut. Shh. Don't tell nobody that this person that I'm friends with is a weirdo. Don't let the world know that this person who's a whole politician that be on TV is a weirdo. And they have the same type of sexual fantasies as Jeffrey Epstein. You see, yeah, Jeffrey Epstein might have took the fall. Jeffrey Epstein took the fall. But who did he take the fall for? You ever ask yourself that question? Who were the people? Because he couldn't have done all of that by himself. Literally, he was funded. Literally was funded by billionaire politician friends. And that's how he was able to live the lifestyle he was living. You gonna tell me they ain't know what the hell he was doing? You gonna tell me they ain't have no clue at all? He was bringing them young girls to that island over there when they was going there to visit him. And all his maids and the people who worked on the island, they knew about it. They saw the young girls. They saw some fishy business going on. So why the people who was enabling all of that for all them years, why aren't they in court too? Why isn't it public knowledge of their involvement with the situation too? You know why? Because the people will know exactly who they're dealing with in this country. If they expose the people who was cool with Jeffrey Epstein during that time and was going to that island during that time, people will have to reevaluate their whole entire life. They would have to reevaluate their whole entire life. Drop a comment below if you saw the Jeffrey Epstein documentary. I really want to know because it's some crazy shit in that, right? There's some crazy stuff in that. But what you realize is that the only way he was able to do that for so long was by having help from some very powerful people. He couldn't do that alone by himself. But there was some type of business operation going on, right? Maybe he was a spy. Maybe he was working with certain officials to get certain things done. And it was kind of like a you scratch my back, I scratch your back kind of thing. But guess who they made take the fall? They only made Jeffrey Epstein take the fall. And in my opinion, I believe the reason why they did that was because they knew at some point he was probably going to drop the beans on these people who basically used him. Right? These people who was buddy with him, but they don't want to take the fall like him. This is the world we living in, y'all. It's time to wake up. It's time to realize what's going on in this world. All the people that you may see who be having them suits on, they be having on the suits and ties. Just because they got money and they making a lot of money and they in high places, it don't mean they're good people. You got some people who are straight up demons. Demons. Straight up demons. In high positions, and they're the ones who's running the world. They're the ones who's making laws. They're the ones who's making certain decisions. It's something to think about. Drop a comment below. Let me know if I'm being too real in this video. And make sure to subscribe to this video. Make sure to hit the bell notification. Hit the bell button so you can be notified whenever I make these kinds of videos. People are going to be mad at me for doing this, but the truth is the truth, man. And you can't hide the truth. You can't run away from it. You can't try to hide from it. All you can do is acknowledge it, and all we can do is get better and improve the hearts and the minds of people in society. But if we're being led by a bunch of people who are lying and a bunch of people who have some sick-ass sexual fantasies, well, that should tell you where the world is going. That should tell you where things are going in society. You know what I'm saying? But without any further ado, this is your boy Jonathan Belcher. I'm going to see you at the top. Stay blessed, stay successful, keep it abundant. Peace.